Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your man, the legend, Sesamaring, here to help you guys get paid on this wonderful Wednesday. That's right, World Cup Wednesday, baby. We made some really good money. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Yesterday, unfortunately, it wasn't all in World Cup. We made some money yesterday on MLB. Okay, we did pretty good. Oh no, that's me. Okay, so again, yesterday we hit some pretty nice parlays. There you go. That's what we did yesterday on MLB. So we're trying to replicate that again today when it comes to World Cup. Same thing. It was a wild World Cup. Wild, wild World Cup. We had um, we had some things we never seen before, like Ronaldo going ahead and getting his goals that he got. Everybody's been clamoring for a while now for Ronaldo to go ahead and step up like all the other goats, all the other legends, and get some goals, and he finally did. So hats off to my man Ronaldo. He didn't just get one; he got two goals. That's right, he got two goals. So it should be an action-packed day today. I believe there's 6 games. I want to say what I got: one, two, three, four. Yeah, six. There's 6 World Cup games today. We got props in for all of them. We'll get to that here momentarily. Just want to say let's go. It's a great day. If this is your first time on the channel, make sure you like and subscribe. We've got a lot of merch in the store. We got FIFA merch, not FIFA merch. We got World Cup merch. We've got some show merch for Legendary Sports. And yeah, so check it out. So let me get into business. What we're going to talk about today, we're going to have, just like we did yesterday, the first part of this show is going to be dedicated to World Cup. We've got props and breakdowns for each of the 6 games that we're going to talk about. Actually, I'd like to get some of your guys' input on who's actually going to win and what you think is going to happen. So please make sure that you let me know what you think in the chat about who's going to win, um, who your team is for tonight. Did you guys see Colombia only scoring 1 goal yesterday? I don't know about that. I thought maybe Colombia would have scored a little bit more, but that's just how I feel. Also, who saw that 0-0 draw? I didn't see that coming either. But I will tell you this: this World Cup has come to make a lot of people start caring about soccer who don't normally care about soccer. It's raised a lot of interest, and that's what it's all about: creating interest, love for the game. So make sure that you guys are checking it out if you get a chance. Yeah, but I just wanted to make sure my chat was good. Yesterday we had some issues as far as with the volume. But hey, looks like we're good. Cancel that out. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump on our first thing for today, which is these World Cup matchups. All right, so World Cup. First game, I believe, is at 3 o'clock. So, what I think we're going to wind up doing is we're going to talk about the Swiss game. I'm sorry, the Qatar game first. That's BNH over Qatar. So, hey, welcome to the show. We're going over our World Cup picks right now on who we think is going to win, some props and parlays, some breakdowns. Um, if you guys watched the show, awesome. Who'd you guys think was going to win yesterday? Did you guys see Ronaldo finally break out and get his 2 goals? Everybody's been wishing that he finally get one. And not only did he get one, he got dose. All right. So pretty much what we're going to talk about right now is I've got a couple of parlays that one is actually a viewer sent parlay. So I got one that a viewer actually sent of the show, and he wanted me to share it with you guys. So this is it right here. Uh, right here, check it out. Tell me what you guys think. Is this something that you'd roll with? Is this something that you wouldn't roll with? Again, this is with my man Julio. So big ups to Julio for saying what we got going on here. So looking at what he put in, he's got B&H to win. cover the spread over 2 points. That's kind of wild. Brazil, I could see that happening. I could see Brazil happening with over 1.5. Morocco, obviously the favorite. The Czech, I don't know. Now, the good thing about this, and me and Julio have a strategy, and he shared with me the other day, is that when you get parlays like this, pretty much after that first or second rough spot, you got to sprinkle in. They all can't be, plus 5,000 bets. You got to put something in there that's going to go ahead and, possibly cash. If you put something in there that's um, just foolhardy, you're gonna get a lot of odds, but you're not gonna have much success, and it won't have very much longevity. So usually, what you do is you put something in there that's a little spicy for that first or second leg. You dress it up with something on that third and fourth leg, so that way you'll get hit with a nice cash out offer. So who knows? $5 might get them 35, 45 bucks after that first round of a cash out. That's one way to play it. That's a smart strategy, Julio. All right. Thanks for sharing yours, Julio. I'm gonna go ahead and toss up my. I wouldn't say it's a spicy meatball. I would say it's kind of it's very, very doable. Oh wait, yeah. Here we go. So this is what I got right here. We got. I kind of went with goal scorers, okay, because I figured there's gonna have to be some action. I figured there's gonna have. I know. 20 gets you 1,200. That's crazy, right? Or 1,100. So we went with goal scorers. Definitely my man, he's going to score a goal or assist. I think he's going to score a goal. And then we put both, for over 2 goals scored. Do I think Qatar is going to stand a chance against B&H? Heck no. Just like my man Julio says. No, I don't think so. But I'm not going to be as bold to say it's over 2.5. So, and who knows, they might tie it. We'll see. All right. Moving on, we got this next one, which is Sweden. I'm sorry. Yeah, Sweden versus Canada. Now, our Canadian neighbors to the north, they're not the best at soccer or football, however they call it. But I don't know. I don't know. I will say this: I got Jonathan David for a score and assist, and I got Brielle and Bolo for a score or assist because I feel like that's what's going to come down to. I feel like both teams are going to score. I don't know who's going to win in this one, but I do feel like both teams are going to score. I mean, that came to burn me yesterday, especially with that first game and the second game. But hey, it is what it is. You figure we make our money in this first game. Again, that's a cream puff right there. That's easy. That's at minus 115. So that's gonna probably go down. Then we get offered to cash out, of a bet like that. They probably offer us like 70, 80 bucks. And we hold. We hold till halftime. Hopefully one of the two score already. And then, you get a nice little cash. Again, this is a no sweat bet. If that 20 doesn't hit, that bet busts. I do wind up getting house money to reuse on another bet. And I'm going to show you later in this episode how we were able to flip that into something extremely significant. All right. So, again, here on Legendary Sports, that's what we do. We talk about all this low hanging fruit that Vegas gives you, and we just try to, help you guys out because they're not in the business of giving money, but you got to be in the business of being smart about getting the money. And, excuse the mess here. I do got, this is my office. I do got 4 kids. They're, building cool little crafts and stuff. And yeah, that's what we got. So let's move on to this next game, which is Haiti versus Morocco. Oh my goodness. So when we talk about Haiti versus Morocco, it's pretty much even with these guys right here. I feel like they're going to do exactly what they've done. They're going to score and assist each other. All right. So that's what they do. They work together in tandem. They're like Batman and Robin to go ahead and make it happen. So I feel like this is a safe bet. This bet is cashed on a couple of different props. So yeah. And then we got Vinny Jr. You already know for Brazil. How many goals is Brazil going to score? I don't know. It could be one. It could be two. I don't know how to say one, two, or three in Portuguese. But if I did, I'd be telling you. But I got them to score at least one. Then when we came down to South Korea or Mexico, now Mexico burned me last game, man. And Mexico versus South Korea burned me last game. I had some money on Mexico and South Korea, both of them to go ahead and get a goal. Unfortunately, they didn't both get a goal. It was only Mexico who got a goal, and that's why we went for Mexico to tie or win, and South Korea to tie or win. I feel like South Korea is going to come out strong against South Africa. I don't feel like South Africa has the field to be able to work with South Korea. They don't have the same energy. So yeah, South Korea is going to work them all the way to the whistle, and I'm not sure if South Africa is ready for that. So that wraps up this right here when it comes to a World Cup talk. If you're in the chat and you got any opinions on anything that you guys saw, were there any matches you guys feel like your favor on? Is there yeah. All right, cool. So let's jump into this next one. This next one right here is gonna go ahead and be MLB. All right, we got MLB props and parlays. So MLB props and parlays, I feel like you guys are missing the boat on this, especially this late in the year. We've got a lot of data, a lot of information on these players and how well they do. I really feel like if you guys look at this from a different view instead of just from like the public's view, I think you'll be good because a lot of times people look at these matchups and they're going to go with what's trending, what's hot. And you also have to realize like there's a lot of data out there on these players already. There's a lot of things that people can see. There's a lot of things that people can research, and that's what you got to be mindful of, especially when you got such great matchups. So let's go ahead and talk about how it worked out for us yesterday. We had this really cool matchup. We had success. We had limited success. So we had this 9 leg parlay that we put in for the other ones. Now, full disclosure, this 9 leg parlay is the same 9 leg parlay that I talked about in my video yesterday. All right. So again, 9 leg parlay is gonna 15 was gonna pay out like 155. So out of that 9 legger, all 8 legs hit, with the exception of one. You know, that's always how it is. But again, we weren't that far off. All the batters, my guaranteed batters that I said that we're gonna hit. Unfortunately, Sandy came up a little bit short. Sandy had 4Ks instead of 5. So if I'd have been a little bit more safe, and this is what I tell you guys, especially in my videos, when you research somebody, if you look on MLB.com or any of the stats, Sandy's been at about 6 to 7 Ks a game. And that's why I underbet him at 5. I figured it was going to be a little tight. And what happened? They worked him late into the rounds or late into the innings, and he got pulled. He just hit his pitch limit, and they pulled him. So that's something to be mindful of. And that's why also, if you feel like you've got a good thing going on, like I did with these strikeouts and these hitters, then go ahead and play with it. I went ahead and put in additional prop bets later in the day, and that's what it paid out. Again, that's not a 2 leg parlay. That's not a 3 leg parlay. Those are the rest of the games. Okay? Those were the pitchers to get strikeouts for the rest of the games for the day. So we went 15 out of 16 for all the baseball games that we put props on. 15 out of 16. And we aim to do that again today. So let's go ahead and sit back. I know that's why you guys came here, is to go ahead and watch me break down these games. So that's what I'm going to do. For these first 5, I went ahead and got the legwork for you guys. I'll put up the props and parlays for all of them. And then I'll go ahead and run through how I look at these books. And go ahead and tell you what I think the winners might be. So let me jump into this. All right. All right. So here we go. For this first matchup, we've got the Marlins. Now, with these Marlins, I went ahead and just did the hitters only. All right. I said hitters only. Let's do this. And I got these 5 guys to go ahead and get hits. Now, this is a decent matchup. We do have a pretty good matchup with our pitching. But again, these guys right here have been proven pretty well. We've got Kyle Stowers. We got Brandon Nemo, Xavier Edwards, Otto Lopez, and my man Jake Berger. Now Jake Berger is the wild card on here. He He's been batting pretty close to that limit of what we talk about with what you want to see. We usually want to see like a over 3 ratio. You want to see somebody who's not really striking out all the time. You want to see somebody who's making contact. That's what you want to look for. Somebody like that. So make sure that when you have somebody like that, you take advantage of it because they're good hitters. They are people that you can go ahead and make money off of. They are people that you can go ahead and take advantage of. So that's what these guys are. Otto Lopez, I think, is riding a 9-game hit streak, or was riding a 9-game hit streak. I think he missed a game or whatever, and then he's back at it like an addict. We got Jake Berger. The reason why we're using him is he's somebody that could potentially just get hot because he was a Marlin for about 3 years. He's right there, like I said, at that cusp of 4 hits. And then we've got Brandon Nemo and Kyle Stowers. Kyle Stowers is a lefty. There's a lefty on righty matchup. And Brandon Nemo has just been hot against this pitcher. Now, we're going to get into the pitching game here. We got Yuri Perez. I usually got him going 3 to 4 Ks. He usually throws about 5. But the thing is, he's coming off of IL. He had a thigh strain, and that had him sidelined. He came up through AAA. So you don't know, man. There's a big difference in drop off between these hitters that are mid form, prime season, and AAA hitters. So that's one thing that you got to be mindful of, and that's why I didn't even put him on here. I just went straight with hitters. Moving on. So I did that separate as an outlier because I am partial to the Marlins. I didn't want to be influenced, but let me go ahead and give you the rest of this ticket, um, where it's just that parlay. Now this parlay is, I want to say, a 10-legger. Blow it up for you right here. Yep, 10-legger right here. We got pretty much. Yeah, there you go. So let me shrink this down so you can see it. All right, cool. Looks good. All right. So if you need to blow your screen up, you can blow your screen up. If you want to look at it, look at it. But we're going to go through this real quick. So this first game, I got Cleveland versus the White Sox. We got Bibby for 4 Ks and Fetty for 3 Ks, or 3 strikeouts. Next up, we got Suarez for 4 strikeouts and Freeland for, I think I put him for 3 strikeouts. They offered him for that. So I took it. Well, I took him for 4. There's better money on the 4. So I took him for 4 strikeouts, and I got Montecero. Now, the thing about Montecero is, I want to be honest with you. He's riding a 3-game hitting streak. But this is the thing about baseball. It's finicky. There's times this is the thing about baseball. When people are not on, they're gonna be on. You got to go by these patterns, and this is one where if you want to just do a side prop on just him to get a hit, because I want to say he was like a plus 280, it's kind of worth it. If you want to even take him out of the parlay, I can completely understand why you would want to take him out of the parlay and not jeopardize it because of it. But I'm telling you, this is one of those things where if you follow it, and you'll see tomorrow. We'll talk about it. If I was right or wrong, you'll see. But I'm telling you, he's gonna get a hit. He's gonna get a hit. That's just kind of how baseball works, man. All right, moving on. We got Baltimore versus the Angels. I got Gibson down for 4Ks and Soriano down for 4Ks. Um, I got Pete Alonso for a hit. That's the polar bear right there, man. You can't mess with him. Then we got Seattle versus Pittsburgh. I got Wu for 4 and Ashcroft for 4. I wanted to take him for almost 5, but again, you want it'd be something like what happened yesterday with Sandy Alcantara. We had him for the 5Ks. He's been throwing nothing but 7, and where did he land? On 4. So you have to consider that. You can't just go with what's flashing in front of you. All that glitters isn't gold. All right, moving on. And we got Randy Rosarena for a hit. Randy Johnson. No, just playing with you. So yeah, we got Randy Rosarena. And you see what that pays out. I want to say that 10 got you 158. So that's what we got right there. That's it. We got a couple more to run through, but I'm just gonna let that be. I got some other stuff to do. If you guys want me to run through some more, hit me up in the chat if you see this channel. I'll throw up a short later on. Otherwise, the next time, legend